Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eric Langkamp, also known as Tricky Hunter. This marks the start of the new dev build. I have the 0.2.7 ready to go for you guys. I'm going to go ahead and show you just real quick. You've got two new mechs. You've got the Mad 3D Marauder and the TDR 5SE Thunderbolt. Those are loaded out with the additional weapons, and obviously we can go into the AI match with those. And as before, these are the red mechs. So any heavies on the field will be red for now. You'll finally get access to the mech screen here, the full mech screen. I'll go into some detail here. Obviously, you've got your individual items. I now have the weapons listed, and these should turn red when knocked out. There's also a pilot details section with the pilot status and the little image of the oddball like pirate thing, pilot outline here will also change color as they take damage as well. The name of the mech is actually listed. However, I do need to make some changes as we go along. But as you can see, things are progressing just fine. I haven't changed the ghost mechs to be representative of the mech that's actually supposed to be representing. It's the one that it's based on as of right now, and that as you can tell, I just used one of the four models that I have so far, because Jason is making some significant progress as he goes when it comes to the new mech models. I know Fang is really interested in seeing the new mech models come in, and honestly, so am I. But we really don't want to put into effect new mech models when we don't have new tiles for the combat instances here. You can see these are really cartoony, and these guys fit the cartoony nature of the environment. We will want to change that when it comes right down to it. Now, I did promise you guys that I was going to show you some greater detail on the Landwar stuff. Just like way back in the beginning of development, I was working on procedural generation of the maps, and there's been some call also for getting procedurally generated maps or more maps at the very least, which requires a degree of automation on my end because I can't lay out maps tile by tile. There's just an awful lot to do when it comes to the creation of the maps. And I just realized I opened the wrong one. Some of you guys know that I went to GDC with the game seeking a publisher, specifically to be able to expand the team and get the funding we need. We are currently talking with two different publishing groups. I can't give you too much detail. It's been hit and miss. Some of the big names, one of the big names has turned us down. There's another two big names in the industry that are still looking at what we've got for Averon. So we're pretty excited there. They have actually come in and played the game, and we did a full-on pitch with them. But no, for some reason it's freezing up here. What I'm going to be showing you is actually what we generated for creating the Landwar maps, at least in concept, and eventually we'll be tweaking this for having pure procedural generation for the maps as well. Excuse me. And I'm afraid I might have frozen up. So as you can see, I've got a bit of a system here for generating the land war tiles, and actually we have been discussing the possibility of um, having more in-depth uh, cities and towns. Um, we haven't really fully textured the cities the way we want and created those models fully, but there's a lot to them. Uh, Obviously, we have forests, we have mountains, we don't have the procedural generation working for the rivers yet. But we do have them working for the lakes. So let me show you real quick what it's like to pop in, say, a forest. So I can select a tile just like I did with the internal systems here. And let's see, I should be able to select forest, and then we should be able to give it some sort of detail here. Number of center hexes, let's say 20, bloom radius 2. Okay, so now I should be able to procedurally generate, and boom, there's some more forest. So you'll notice it does some random generation, and all of these forests and lakes, and even the mountains and cities. I'll show you the mountains here. So we're going to use a very similar system for generating the uh, the combat instance maps, the arena maps, the way we currently have it. And it looks like it reached the edge of the map, so it kind of glitched. That does happen sometimes. This is a work in progress sort of tool, so no big deal. But you can kind of see the grasp of what we're going to do for this. Um, this speeds up the process of creating the maps. There's still some level of creativity. I can't automate it as of yet for just saying, give me a map with such and such coverage on it. That is the end goal. To be able to have some degree of automation beyond just you place a forest here, place a lake there. But yeah, there you go. A sneak peek at what land war might actually look like. Um, Obviously, there's a lot of work to be done, um, but if we can get the publisher on board that we want, then that won't be as much of a problem as you might think. So as always, I'll be on Discord and Facebook. I've got a few other things to tackle here over the weekend and leading into next week. Uh, but the 0.2.7 will be available for uh, all of the dev build players. 0 to 6 will be available for the public players, and also I'll be doing the drawing and sending out the codes here in the next few days, so be on the lookout for that. Alrighty guys, you guys have a good evening, and I'll talk to you later.